kind of shock, the theater of cruelty, to shock an audience into awareness.
So you're your own audience.
Sure.
You make stuff that what you would really like to see, or you would like to hear. Otherwise, it's out there already. You know? Otherwise, why make something that's already out there that you like to see or hear?
Well, the whole thing about being accomplished, what does that mean in terms of English? It means getting a doctorate, being swallowed up into the academy, fighting for tenure, writing pulp, please your peers.
Fighting for tenure.
Fighting for tenure. Writing pulp to please your peers. You can't write anything true because then you'll be denigrated. So Henry Miller went to Paris and lived as a bum for 10 years, more or less, living on his wits. And what is there about Paris that makes it so special? It's a metropolis where every outsider goes. More or less, it achieves a sense of community. The community happens to be, with him, mostly Hores and disconsolate Jews. And why are the Jews special? Because they tangibly recognize the world as it is. They're always on their guard against being swallowed up again. They're always exiled. In that sense, exile is what's the most needed in artists. And once we seek an audience, once we seek more than one person, or two people, or three people to share our thoughts with, then we start playing Liberace, catching doves, hamming it up for the audience, creating nothing at all.
Liberace. I don't know. Everyone wants to do it. Everyone wants to do art because they don't want to work a regular job. They want to have that exalted success thing.
No, art is the least successful of all fields you can possibly get into. Many are called and few are chosen. Many just go through the scene of madness without anything to show for it. And I'm not saying that we'll be ever able to show anything of it either. But hopefully we will. And so it's a sacred mission of sorts. It gives meaning to our lives.
Yeah.
Besides, it's the only thing we could possibly do anyway. So tell me, what do you want to write about?
I want to write about real life experiences that make you feel stuff, that makes who's ever reading it feel stuff, feel like, feel all the good stuff. Because when I read stuff and I see someone feeling bad in the book, I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have to personally feel it. It's like that empathy. Once removed, I can feel what they're feeling.
Do you feel happy because they're feeling?
I think I feel somewhat fulfilled that this is something. It's like it's not exactly like me going through the pain of it all, but it's they're doing it. I don't know, it's just so much rougher when you have to go through it yourself, you know? And you can learn something. Maybe I want to write something that maybe people will read and know this is true, this happened, this is real, and save them a little time.
Yes, sure, exactly.
Save them a little time in their lives.
Although, once the root is programmed, it simply accelerates. They'll go through the exact same experiences, except that it's such a quicker rate that they'll be onto the new ones before you know it, the ones we haven't yet experienced. A new type of adoration of the goddess, whatever that may be. Today in the hardcore scene, it seems to be chains and whips. Or other forms of programmatic diversion. But the real essence of adoration of the goddess is restoring her glamour. That's why I like that film 9.5 Weeks, which some people find disgusting or steamy or whatever. But that film is like a program of the surrender in which love enables a woman to feel her primalness. And it's that primalness which is almost sacred because it is totally bent on destroying itself.
I don't think men are good for women.
Oh, I do.
Why does everyone end up hating each other then? Not hating each other, but it's just like...
I never hate any of the women I was with.
I don't hate them either, but it's just like, what happened?
I just wish they could fulfill me the way I expected it. But they've been hurt too many times and they're callous to their own unfeeling. Just as I am sometimes.
You know, it just seems that... I mean, how many happy marriages do you know of?
It's not that they're happy, it's that they're secure. That's what marriage is all about.
Yeah, it's secure. You know why? Because people don't want to go through hell anymore.
Oh, sure.
The hell of it all. The hell of being in love. I mean, they just don't want to go through that anymore. Because they can't endure it anymore.
Well, it's up to us who can endure it. Who can endure hell 30 times over, 50 times over, 100 times over, and grow each time. It's a calling.
Yeah, I know, but it's hell. It's still hell. Because the souls mesh and then they're torn apart. And it's the worst feeling. As good as you feel when the souls are meshing, that's how bad you feel when they're torn apart. It's a direct equation. Doesn't matter where you are or the circumstances.
Well, like I said a few minutes ago, before this tape was on, tears are sometimes the most forceful thing you can ever feel. And it's worth it just for that suffering. It's worth it just for that moment of suffering. To feel that intensely.
That's kind of crazy. That's not why, that's the one why you go into it. You go into it because you want to suffer. It's poetic. I want to suffer that much.
All the saints have done the same thing. All the heroes of civilization have gone into it knowing they were going to suffer. The whole aspect of humanity is whoever can suffer the most and yet still reap benefit from it is going to win in the long run, because they're going to lose at every little juncture. Every time they lose, they win even more because their suffering achieves such a height, such a noble, savage nobleness that to be without that heroic sense would be too much for them to bear. So it's the sense of the heroic that we're talking about. And I believe it's heroic to suffer.
It is. Because there's no battles to fight anymore. There's no armies to slay. There's no hero in the culture. Now it's just like,
well, the
if
hero,
you can make it through a few relationships, you're like...
Let's talk about body types. Body types. Most people are sluggish, or they have very alert bodies that are seeking enthusiasm all the time. But there's a third type of body, which is born from madness. Nijinsky's body, for instance. Alert, yet at the same time on the verge of pure line, pure motion, which He falls into nothingness at the very end because he saw too deeply through his body. And what was that leading to? That was leading to the fact that, I don't know, I lost my thread.
I don't know, it's just not easy, you know? Because once just say you meet a woman, you fall in love with her, and then the first months or whatever are great, and then it gets to the point where you're like, there's no more suffering. Everything's kind of easy, and then
the hardness that evolves.
And then you're like, well,
the mutual use of each other. The gains.
And then as soon as somebody wants to split, it's like then the suffering starts again.
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it has to be. But that high can last for a long time, so long as the glamour is totally replenished. So long as the woman surrenders. So long as she's in love. You can't force a woman to be in love. Just like with Lisa, I couldn't force her to be in love with me. And she was always slapping me down every time I tried to bring more intensity into the relationship, you know. And it was very intense as it was anyway. But still, she's not complete, you know. She doesn't see things. She just feels things. For instance, artists who do not have a vocabulary will never accelerate in their art because they'll merely be dealing with plastic formations. Once they create a myth for their art, a whole mythological strata, then their art can take on evolving circles, evolving spirals. That's why it's so wrong to talk about music simply as pure sound.
Pure sound and black clothes.
Yeah, but the
orchestra pit.
But the fact that music only wants to be resolved as a sound function totally cuts it off from every other art and makes it qualified, makes it separated. And the thing for arts today is that it has to become unified. All the arts have to talk to each other. All the arts have to have a common language in which they can grow and see each other. Such as, I like watching paintings. I don't listen to much music except for modern music because I like the energy involved. But such stuff as Ives or Stoneberg, I don't listen to because it bores me. It's just, you know, pure sound. Pure sound is just like, I'd rather listen to Takara.
No, music has personality is deeply involved with music.
That's what it has to express. It has to express personality. It can't say it's just pure sound. It has to express personality. Just as every art has to. Personality is the last frontier. Saving grace. The right personality can one day show a metaphor in which people can live their lives. And that is the saving grace. It's just not simply to write or to paint or to make music, or simply to be the personality in which, in your case, is patience. Enduring patience. And in my case, I really don't know.
You think I'm patient?
I think you have great patience.
Why? Because I could do this? This?
No, you're patient because...
Put the watch together?
What do you want to do?
What I want to do? I want to... I don't know what I want to do.
The mixture of the Dionysian and patience. That's what you were made of. Like.
Yeah, I know, I'm like a hedonist who's very careful. Carefully metered hedonism.
That's the only way to take hedonism. Otherwise, it leads to death. What's Craig doing these days?
Working.
Yeah.
Crappy lobster. It's a new job though, he's working in a different restaurant.
You left the lobster?
Yeah, the other guy called, so he's going in.
One guy I read, Gerald Sykes, perennial avant-garde. It says the future depends upon the right attitude toward women.
Yeah.
And that right attitude is adoration.
Goes way back.
Women don't want to hear that sometimes, the wrong women. The right women do. But often they're led astray by, say, to be racist. The black boys who dance so well on the dance floor. They want that God image in which they can surrender. When I dance on the dance floor, it's not sexual at all. It's I'm making a dance. How is that?
Greece. Silicone Greece.
That's where we should go. Hydro, the island of Hydro.
Yeah.
No sounds there, no metropolis, nothing to go on.
Where the dude, what do I want to do? I want to be very secure in my machine.
What does your machine consist of?
I want to be almost there now. I'm pretty independent financially.
I'm not.
I want to have a solid base. I wouldn't mind having several wives and several children with all these wives, have enough money to pay for everyone, and just be very powerful. And well known for being powerful. And do good work. And work with other people to do good work. Create a community. I want to be in a community.
You have a community of sorts here.
Yeah, I know, but it's definitely a community. So
Lisa looks at all the women here and says, what is their self-destructive motive? You know? She doesn't see the self-destruction in herself. Of course I see it, but
well, she looks in terms of things like that. She's got like a materialistic point of view.
very.
Like, what can I get out of this? You know? She said to me, oh, I wouldn't come here to meet someone. You know?
What does that mean?
That's what she said. She looked around. She said, I was not the kind of place you'd come to meet someone. Like, you know, that's what people want to do. They want to meet someone. They want to meet people of the opposite sex normally.
I've given up on that around here. I'm played out already.
Yeah, well.
Seen my scene, seen my heyday. They all know me too well. As that goes.
Your reputation precedes you.
As I see it, I'm considered as sort of a joke around here.
Nah. I don't consider it a joke. Joke. You're a joke. And there's the guys from the health food store taking a break. It's like a little paying place down here. They're taking a break. I'm up here. They see me walking around. What do you do? it seems like anecdotes, like keep experiences. That's the main thing. I wanna keep experiencing life, so it's always fresh. I'm like horrified at things like retirement communities and stuff like that. It's just horrifying. I don't know why. I don't want to ever get to the point where going out to dinner is real important. I always want to do something that's some goal directed towards something, not just like.
I'm very mercenary. I just want to. I want to live so as I can create my novel.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I don't want to live for myself. For myself, I could simply sit in my room and read and think. The only reason I go out into the world is to write my novel. Simply because I think it needs to be said somehow, and I think somehow fate moves me in strange ways, in which I know when I have something to say that's relevant.
Right.
Something that I experience that might be relevant.
Well, everyone loves to see characters discover themselves.
That's what's doing
really
for me.
do.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to see that. Fascinating, isn't it?
Steady hand.
Some people call this a skill.
Ask me the strangest question everyone's asked.
You? I don't think I could ask you any strange questions. You never hold any conscious.
I'm transparent.
Everything has to do with sex has to do with sex all the time. It's like sex is the factor all the time.
It's a way of self-discovery.
As long as when you do that with somebody. It's like a big book up in heaven. It's like number 1, number 2, number 3. I don't get it. Other than that, I think the men and women are pretty much incompatible.
How do you see women?
I think they don't share the same interests men have, or men and women.
What are the interests the men have?
Men like. Men.
See, I don't know any of these things. I'm a blank page. I have no idea.
Yeah, right. Men like. There's a line, There's a whole realm of experience in this world that can be controlled, like this watch. I can fix this watch. I'll fix it today, I'll fix it tomorrow. Every day I can fix this watch in the same way. You can put body putty on a car, you could turn a switch, turn a knob, nail it. You can do all these things and the result's always predictable.
So you're saying...
And that's the realm of men. Women to build in this world and predictable, to making it predictable.
I don't know any of that stuff.
Well, I'm telling you. It's like you have the guy who can... he's good with his hands.
I'm the laziest person in the world.
God, good for you.
I don't want to build this world. I want to create this world. Building the
But you
world
have
is
those
much
same
too slow.
guys.
Much too slow for me. I want to do it all in one breath. One clap of the hands, and one snap of the fingers, and one spark of the eyes, and one clench of the teeth, and one shot of the groin, and one jump of the feet. I want it all to just be created. And that's what you can do with women. It's just that simple motion that creates a whole world. That's why I'm so attracted to the goddess type that wants to be overruled, overcome, and totally seduced. And I love to seduce. I love to seduce. I love the sway. I love the charm that I can hold over women at times. You know, it's when you first meet them. And sometimes I'm really goofy. Sometimes I say that everything that's on my mind, and I sound like a real idiot. Sometimes I play it cool. Sometimes I let my body do the talking. And that's when I'm best in control. Because that's when...
How do you let your body do the talking?
Dance. The movement of the body. I have total control over my body. I can get erection at will.
Oh yeah? Will who?
Will Rogers. I don't know.
Oh yeah, will, so you can just will it?
No, I'm only kidding. I can't get an erection at will. It has to be totally spontaneous. I'm not kidding. I can't do that. Well, you have to think of a thought. You have to put a thought form in your head. Right. Like I saw this chick with the biggest tits walking down the street the other day. I walked out of this bar, and she had like 41 inches, you know? I took a look at these things, and I went, whoa, baby. I was walking with a hard on for 2 blocks. I couldn't believe it. That would have been heaven for me, man.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
She was cute, too. Man, I would have died for that.
One of your many deaths.
Yes. I would have died with a smile on my face. It's the way I want to die, with a smile on my face. See, I have this religious impulse, you know, this messianic complex of sorts. But I'm not a eunuch, you know, I'm attracted to women. They drive me crazy. So, you know, I'm not going to divorce myself from the flesh. The flesh and the spirit have to go hand in hand. And I want to experience as much as I can a taste of each different woman until they teach me more and more and more, you know. Like Lisa taught me an awful lot. Now, like, I could be real depraved, you know. It'd be wonderful.
Oh, really? Lisa, huh? I was looking at her. We're sitting out there with Sipper on the grass and Sugarloaf. I was looking at her thinking of your book, man. That's too much.
What kind of thoughts did it spring to your mind?
Just like looking at her face and stuff, you know, like, man. You know, just looking at her.
Did you want to eat it up or what?
Huh? I don't know. I was just like, you know, how she was sitting there, somebody could more or less sit there and be kind of collected and sophisticated, and the other hand you have this like, you know, other side that's
exactly. She plays it.
That's like, as you said, sleazy, you know.
She ain't sleazy, but she just has no pride, you know.
Really?
No pride. Why would she take me back 30 times, you know? Every time I walk off on her in the huff, you know, because she's done something wrong to me, she takes me back every time. I could call her up right now and go over her house if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But she'll do something else and give me a bad time.
Like what?
I want to give a Spanish guy a blowjob in the president's office or something, you know.
Okay. She'll tell you if he wants to do that?
No, I could see it. Spanish guy waving her into the office, and she's looking like, should I go in or shouldn't I, you know? I know Fred's right around the corner, but maybe I could do it in 5 seconds, you know? She likes cheating, you know? She likes playing that game.
She likes that, yeah.
It gives her a sense of thrill.
Catches up with you to do this shit, man.
Like,
it always gets you 10 times worse.
You know who I'm really interested in now? Claudia.
Schmidt?
Yeah.
Forget it.
She would be the perfect woman for me.
She would never go with you. I don't think she would. She's had it with you.
No, you're wrong.
Oh, really?
I asked her to go to Paris with me. She said yes.
Oh, good.
See how wrong you can be.
Well, I'm just going with, because I know you were more involved all the time.
I know, but we never talked to each other. We had a very long talk the other day. And I think she's the most wonderful woman.
She's great, I know.
She's wonderful.
She's a good friend of mine, too. I call her up. I told her.
I'm so thrilled just by talking to her.
Yeah, I call her up all the time.
And you know why? It's her sense of loyalty. I feel she has a very deep sense of loyalty and a deep primal sense, which is so exciting. It's like that primalness that I want to feel in my life. I want to be happy. I'm just like those fucking black boys on the dance floor. I want nothing else than to be happy. But the fact is, I don't dance purely sexually, so I'll be able to make it. I'll be able to get by in the world in some small measure. Those guys, once their sexuality runs out and their bodies get sluggish, my body is 31. It's as trim or trimmer than it ever has been. You know? I mean, there's something strange about me. I don't get it, It's just like I've never grown or something. I've never extended myself except in my mind from what I perceive. And what I am now, I always have been. The sense of suffering, the sense of primalness, the sense of Dionysian release, the mystery, the glamour, the beauty, transcendence. Now Chris Sipple, he is a wonderful talker. I love the way he talks.
He's got his share of women in his life too all the time. Damn.
What's the matter?
These are going bad. I gotta fix them again. He always has like 4 or 5 girlfriends at the same time.
Now he's only going with Amy, Lisa's girlfriend. He wants to marry her.
Yeah. I thought the best was when he was going out with Chris. That was the best.
Who's that?
He was living with her in Hoboken.
I don't know her.
Her name was Chris. His name was Chris. That was funny. He's always had tons of girlfriends. I don't know how he does it.
He's genuine. His interests are purely unmotivated by any other sense than genuinity. Or whatever the fuck that is. People's sense about him is warmth. And his warmth is simply his desire for life. But he's very unformed. He hasn't formed any conclusions at all. Chris might make it if he ever devotes himself to one art and sticks to it.
He's already a great photographer. He's bored with that.
I don't know if he's a great photographer. I don't know if he's ever photographed anything that was truly interesting.
He was working the scene.
A lot of it.
Photographed you. Photographed you.
That wasn't interesting. I've never been enraptured by his photography. Too pedestrian. For my taste, anyway. Again, like Peabody, he's interested in the ectoplasm, the motion, the movement. I want to see something that lasts. I want to see something that's going to be there. Of course, what is there is the perception of it. But the perception often fails to achieve anything unless it's formed in a more beautiful statement than simply people walking, people sitting, people, cars in a parking lot, something like that just bores the hell out of me. I liked his pictures in which he wrote something above it or something below it, something like suicide or whatever the hell he wrote, with this person struggling on their back with their hands up in the air. Just a simple little black brush drawing, painting, that to me was the best thing he ever did. His poetry needs to go a long ways also. It's too concerned with ordinary words too many times. He has to expand his vocabulary, even though his talking vocabulary blows me away.
Yeah.
But he never puts it down on paper. He is a pure personality. I think if he could write plays the way he talks, he'd be better than Woody Allen. If he could, he's not I wouldn't say he's a thinker, but he's a great talker, For that reason, he's perfect for plays. So long as he creates the right tragedy, the right comedy. What he needs is a tape recorder in which to observing himself, and create 15 Chris's in one play. All the diverse characters, all the schizophrenic breaks. But the fact is, he's not very schizophrenic. He's very formulated as a personality. He doesn't have very many obtuse angles. He has his depression side and his exuberance side, and they both are very coordinated with each other. Like with me, I've got many more sides than that, and I don't understand them all. Although they don't act unaccompanied by my whole self. I'm an opinionated son of a bitch, aren't I?
Well, that's a lot of people's opinion about you.
Really? Is that true? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more. I want to hear what people think about me. I'm an opinionated son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're real judgmental. You're judge and jury, I don't find anything wrong with that.
When do I do that most? In my writing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your novel's creating quite a stir.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Who's talked about it? Who's talked about it? I know
Mr. Rose has a few things to say about it.
Yeah, he told me at the art opening the other day that.
So you throw it out or something?
No, he didn't tell me to throw it out. He said it's very good in parts and very critical in other parts. And I go, is that true? Is it true? Is it critical, or is it just perceiving what appears to be more or less the truth? What's wrong with criticism after all? Without criticism, we wouldn't have any foundation at all for personality. Wouldn't have any foundation for building upon our mistakes. Other people's mistakes. What we perceive as mistakes. I point out my own faults in the whole book. I see nothing wrong with that.
To me, fiction is fun. Fiction is supposed to be like that.
I want to grow, I don't want to be this good little boy who serves up the platter of bullshit. I want to write what I think is true. Or at least for the moment is true. I write in moments. Each moment carries its own validity. The moment may outweigh itself at a time, such as when you appeared, triumphant at the end, with by means of your reserve and discrimination, and your lunar sensitivity of sorts. You appear triumphant. Other people have had their good sides and their bad sides. I have my good sides and my bad sides, and I see them perfectly sometimes. That's part of life. That's part of this expanding. That's part of the joy of life. If people can't take it, then fuck them. I'm not writing for anyone except for myself and the few people who might want to read it.
Not interesting reading if it's not, you know.
It's controversial. Yes. Okay. Then people will read it just to get their little name in lights, you know.
After all, it's not you; it's the character. It's the character that makes a difference in the person. Based on the character.
Everyone in there is a character.
Yeah, including the guy writing it. So,
sure. I mean, I go insane in the book at one point, you know. I started going off on all these religious topics and subjects and stuff, you know. I was totally out of my mind. But part of it is very true. It's this whole schizophrenic breakup of the society. So who else has been inflamed by this little bit of scribbling?
That's about it. He's a little bit upset about it.
Why, the stuff I wrote about him?
Maybe. I don't know. Susan wanted a copy of it too.
Susan's not really in it.
Susan, I don't know if she really understands.
She asked me, she goes, I go, I'm writing my novel. She goes, it's harsh, isn't it? I go, no, it's insightful. She goes, it's critical, isn't it? I go, no, it's funny. You know?
Where she got that from?
She got it from Craig. Got it from you, Quit playing the good boy all the time. And
come on, man.
Out, man.
What's up?
Quit playing the good boy, you know. Be a little bit more true. Give me that shit. You don't pull tantrums. I see you pull tantrums all the time. Pull tantrums every time I come by.
Oh, yeah?
One of these days you're going to beat the shit out of me. Unless I run fast enough, and I can run.
Woman. What we can't understand. I think there's two ways to live your life. One is a total performer, where you're like, you save all your emotional life for your performance work, or for your work.
That's what I do with my
And then
novel.
the rest of the time you're like dull.
Oh yeah, that's me. That's me.
You know?
That's me.
That's the way it should be. It's just when you mix it up. No good.
But you're not dull. You're staring at a wall. It's like when Da Vinci said, you know, the cardinal comes into Da Vinci and says, look man, if you're not painting, at least go out in the garden and help the gardeners. And he goes, man, it's precisely when I'm not doing anything. When I'm staring at the walls and I'm doing my most work. Because something's entering into me and I feel it. Or something's resolving itself in me and I feel it. And I'm formulating this inside myself and I feel it. Most of the time I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel it.
I'd like to get to that point where I'm like, I could have a stable life on the outside, maybe be married,
Sure.
have a child, and then go completely berserk in your artwork. And I've seen people do it.
Yes.
Like De Niro, or not about necessarily him, but a lot of these whacked out actors and performers live very boring lives. You know?
Well, that's the whole part of remaining sacred. You go back to your art at night. After you've achieved everything the world decrees of you, that's the best position, but I'll never achieve that because I'm too flaky. I'm a lost cause. Unfortunately, circumstances have allowed me to live so far. They haven't yet beaten me over the head with a bludgeon, in which I'll lose consciousness and all my memory. But I either foresee total doom for myself or total fame. You know?
Keep right.
And the thing is, this culture wants an immediate avant-garde. They want something to believe in again. They want some faith. The artists of this world want some faith again. And all they're doing is putting out a lot of shit, most of it.
Yeah, well, because they don't want to work. They don't want to go to get regular jobs.
No, that's not it at all.
Sure it is.
No, it's the fact that they don't want to experience.
They want a free ride.
They don't want to experience. Most of them are working. Most of them are doing the daily thing. But they have no insight into what they're doing. They have no will to expend themselves, to deplete themselves, to exude themselves, to remove themselves, and totally incarcerate themselves within their own bondage. They don't want that. They want to escape that. And for that very reason, they will not create anything worthwhile to say to their fellow peers, of which, how can you escape this? How can you actually live in this world? The daily meaning, the daily conquest, is how do you live day by day? And that's what I'm writing about. I'm living day by day, and I'm saying I can live this way so long as I can write it down. I can do anything in the fucking world so long as I can write it down and laugh about it. I don't want to do some things now, like ridiculous shit, you know.
Heroin? Something like that?
Like heroin. I know. I like heroin.
Oh yeah.
It's the best drug there is, really. But what I'm saying is that the new avant-garde is going to be swallowed up into the mass of society so quickly that you're not going to know what's happened. It's not going to be like 100 years ago when it took them 50 years to finally assimilate their work after they're dead. 50 years after they're dead to finally assimilate the work. Now, everybody's so post-urban that they want to assimilate it right now. They want some real truth right now, you know?
Well, it's also that, you know, times have changed. People have information at their fingertips now that they never had before.
True.
In their lives, in the history of man, there's never been so much information available.
This is the greatest opportunity in the world in the time we're living in. Greatest opportunity to create the greatest works of art. If only we had the guts to do it. And not that I have the guts, just I have no opportunity to do anything else. I mean, I've you know, totally thrown myself into the abyss, and the abyss is taking control. But I don't want to shock the world in any way. I want them merely to see each other more clearly, and to relate to each other more clearly, to show the gentleness more clearly, to show the sacredness more clearly, to show the reverence more clearly. You know, all of that. That's why I go through all this bullshit, just to say, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. But somewhere along the line, there is something that is it, you know? And it makes good reading, all the mistakes. All the mistakes I made make good reading.
Yeah, definitely.
But every now and then, I touch upon something which really touches me, and I know it's going to touch somebody else. Because it's what we live for. And people who are not afraid to have meaning in their lives, who are not afraid to want to get down on their knees and bless life, bless the flesh, bless the earth, bless the skies, bless God within them, all of that. They're going to want something that invigorates their mind, something that invigorates their feelings. Claudia is beautiful.
I always thought so.
I didn't appreciate her when I was with her when I was 20 or so, because I didn't have a mind at the time. I had no thoughts in my head at all. I was purely like a dancer or something, and a drunkard. But we've had the first talk we ever had together the other night on the telephone. First time we ever communicated to each other. And I know if she gives me the chance, I won't repeat my same mistakes. I actually thought of becoming a monk, but I said that's like, devoid, that's devoid of life. It's not the life I'm meant for. I'm meant for the flesh, because that flesh is the only way I learn. If I stopped the flesh, I would never learn a thing again in my life. I don't have the patience to receive mentally and spiritually the gifts that I receive through the flesh. Well, you said yourself, you're a hedonist, so you put it, right?
I don't know, I want to be a monk myself, but...
What do you see about it that you find intriguing?
You don't have to drag your soul through the mud all the time. You have to feel that gut-wrenching soul pain of fidelity, infidelity, lust, and wandering.
It's not lust. It's not lust at all. It's commingling. It's the desire for intimacy. I never feel lust, except when I see those 40-inch tits walking down the street. But I wanted to commingle real bad. Oh man, this boy is going out of his head. I'm such a liar. We should have
Everybody we're talking about here.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
To retort.
Yes, I want them to be here. Marshall McLuhan in person. Yeah, Lisa said you were staring at her very strangely the other day. She wondered what you knew about you knew about her.
That wasn't very strangely.
You want to leap on her body and get a little of that goddess aspect.
Couldn't handle it. I really couldn't handle her.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's, maybe I could hold my own physically, but I just like...
Emotionally?
I guess you probably can. I think I have too much self-respect.
It's precisely that which you have to lose.
You know, I like the people who are loose and there's no commitment or feel. But on the other hand, it doesn't feel as good. Like Jennifer, that feels really good because she's so sweet. And she's like little, you know. She's like the icing. She doesn't get my sense of humor at all.
No.
She's had it anyway.
What do you mean?
She's had it with me.
Really?
She can't understand me. I'm so detached.
One thing I saw in 9.5 weeks is that women want to know what is going to end the relationship. If they can figure a man out, they know what's going to end the relationship, and the shock won't be there. But I never look at that. I never look at a woman and say what's going to end the relationship. I say what's going to sustain it, you know? How can it get more intense? Lisa is fantastic in bed. She's greedy, as they put it. She wants it fucking all. I mean, it you know, it's incredible.
She don't get it all.
She don't get it all.
It's just you can't get it all.
Can't get it all. I give her what I got, but you know, that's good enough for me. Come on her stomach and let it go. She comes with me though a lot.
That's the hard part.
Last time we both came together, same time. Then she wanted to come again. And I said, come again? So I sucked on her tits while she masturbated.
I see.
I knew how to please her. She's really wonderful in a way. I really love her in a way. Sometimes I despise her, you know? It's really strange. I despise that she's so greedy that she needs somebody else than me. I want a woman who can be satisfied just with me. Who I can get more and more and more intimate with. Who I can give everything I have to. So I don't have to write anymore. But I'd continue writing. I'm a mercenary. If I couldn't write, I would, you know, I would just lose all passion for life. I'd lose all my sexuality in it. If I couldn't write. If I couldn't enamor it, you know, make it godlike. What would be the use of it? It would be wasted. So I guess I need a mirror all the time. I'm very Cupid-like. I need a mirror all the time. My mirror is writing. Plus the fact, reading back on all these mistakes I've made gives me supple opportunity or ample opportunity not to repeat them. Or as not as frequently as I usually do. Where's the phone?
Who are you calling? Lisa? Huh? You going over?
No, that was the machine I talked to.
One from the perfection.
Integrity. He's a whore.
Shit. As I was saying, I never thought I'd feel like this again. But who cares? It's like a crazy game of dominoes. It's like the domino effect. One knocks the other over, knocks the other
Save
over.
face.
You know. And it's like it's a natural course of things.
So what you have to do?
Yeah, but the thing is,
before she strays too far, let's go over there and tell her how you feel.
she knows how I feel, but it's just like, what do I do after that? I'm one of these guys who I can get a woman to love me, but I don't know what to do with the love.
I don't understand. How do you mean?
I can get
Physically?
Physically, mentally, spiritually, the whole thing.
Take more and more and more.
And then what? Get married,
No,
have
you
kids.
don't have to get married. That's just a social etiquette, you know? But the whole thing is
it's like
simply to be together. Be unified. Expect that from her and she'll give it to you.
Yeah, no, she's already gave me everything, but I just kind of like, once a week was all I would see her, mainly. Every time she'd have something to do, I would like have something to do. I'm a busy guy every fucking night, my schedule.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything to do, really, except like go to school, try to be happy.
That's all it counts.
But I'm like, I'd really like to just be alone, I really.
You like to be alone rather than to be with her?
Or just like, I'd like to have that, and I had it for like a good 2 years. I had that stability, I was completely alone, I was reckless, motorcycle, leather jacket, rock and roll, I was like, nothing got to me, nobody got to me. And with her, I had a real positive experience.
So you gotta...
But, what do I do? I mean, how do I nurture that? I don't know.
Restore her glamour. Want to do things for her. Don't lose yourself in her, but remain controlled. And, give her everything you've got. Give her every fucking thing you've got.
Is it an 8-pack? I already did. I don't got that much. That's my problem.
Yes, you do. You just need to communicate more.
Yeah, I know. But it's like,
Some guys will give you the opposite advice, say fuck her off, say bullshit to this,
Well, it's not her fault. It's my fault because I'm,
But I don't say that stuff because, I believe in hopeless romanticism.
I put other things before her all the time, This was what Janice do. I put everything before her, So it's my fault, I guess.
You have to give of yourself all the time. Some people don't want to take. Once they know you want to give so much, they won't take. I see that all the time. I want to give so much and they won't take.
Of course, because it's not really healthy. I don't know what is healthy. I don't know what's a healthy aspect of it.
Tell me about this. I don't understand.
I don't know. I think people should, It all boils down to sex. If you don't have that intimacy, then...
Not only sex, but, glamour. Sharing the mystery.
I've had it. I'm shot.
Why don't they want to take when I want to give so much?
That was the conclusion. That's why people get married.
Why?
Because they can't take it anymore.
They can't
take the gut-wrenching of infidelity.
I'm not talking about infidelity. I'm saying why won't they take all that you have to give? Why did they push you away once they know that you need them?
They don't push me away. I push them away.
But why did they push you away once they know that you need them?
They don't. I do. I don't push them away. It's just that... I don't push them away. It's just that that's the way things go sometimes. I don't know.
She was really hard on you for a while
though. She still is, It's just, she's had it with me. She was really hard on me. She loved me completely. She want to like take me home and meet mom and all this shit, you know? So,
That's a heavy step.
you know, and I'm like, you know, and it's like I never
People
trouble.
become different when you bring them into communication with other people. Friends, family, sisters, brothers, they become totally different people. They play roles. I know I try to hide a little bit around my family, a little bit. Not too much. They all pretty know me pretty well. I mean, they know me probably better than I know myself, but yeah, nothing like cigarettes.
I don't know. I thought I'd never feel this way again.
I want to screw Liza and her sister today. Both at the same time. Her sister's fat though. I don't even like Liza.
Physically?
Yeah.
Don't like her physically?
No. She thinks she's sensual, but she isn't at all.
I should just stay with her.
Huh? Damn,
I'm into certain types of denial. I don't know what.
because it's heroic.
You know, I mean, I don't want any part of it. I don't want that fucking guts, man. I see my guts, my fucking guts. I don't like to be.
Get that beer, drink it up. Cools the guts.
Yeah, no, I don't want my guts to be on fire every fucking minute of the day, you know? It's just bad news.
I know it's painful, isn't it?
Pass it back now, it sucks. It's just fate that she's standing over there too. That's what always happens. They're always standing there. They always run into you. You know, this town is pretty small. So I don't know how people they can.
At least you go beat them up.
What, being a nice guy, attracted to a nice girl? Like I was, like
I believe in pulling tantrums. Yeah. I would do that.
Tantrum, what do you mean?
You know, Craig always says I pull tantrums all the time. As if he doesn't. His tantrums are all sublimated. What do you know about Craig? What's your impression of him?
I like Craig, he's my good buddy.
Why?
We can talk. We just talk, and it's like when we're together, we're in sync all the time. What we talk about and what we laugh about and stuff.
Really? You don't feel that way with me though, do you?
Yeah, I do, but not as much. You were more of a, you know, you're more like, you know, when we're together, it's like, what do you want to do?
Me?
Yeah. It's like, if you're bored with this, okay, we'll do something else. With Craig, it's like, you know, it's all just like, I don't know, we're on a wavelength. I'm not saying me and you aren't, but it's,
But he believes in all that stuff, getting things accomplished, doing
Craig?
nailing in the nail and all that stuff.
like me?
Yeah,
No.
he doesn't.
No, he's into a different thing, philosophy. He's into a different philosophy.
So what's his philosophy?
I don't know. It's like funny. It's like absurd. It's like something like a situation emerges. The situation is important.
He's hanging out with Slaven these days, right?
Which, maybe it's good for them.
She's afraid of me, I think.
Why?
Why not? Not that she had anything to offer to me in any way.
She's kind of a nag.
Ned? I like her for a little while. She's a nice body.
You were obsessed with her.
I was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I loved her body. I thought she had the nicest ass I ever saw.
Really touched her.
So I touched it? No, after I touched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kind of soft, huh?
No, really nice. You ever have a woman with a heart-shaped ass? Nothing like a woman with a heart-shaped ass. You ever have a woman like that? Did you?
No.
I didn't think so.
I don't know. I shouldn't be in the realm of relationships. It's not healthy.
Well, there's a catalog I know that you can get a rubber woman from.
I just can't take it. I should stay where I was. I'm into platonic love, I think.
Not me. I can't divorce myself from the flesh. I need it.
I just had it in a lot of ways. Like had it. Shot it out.
I know I want intimacy all the time, but every time I see a beautiful looking girl, I turn my head. But if I had something stable, I wouldn't turn my head. I'd turn my head, but I wouldn't pursue it, you know?
Yeah. Which beer is mine?
That's what I do.
Man, that's alright. At least my soul is alive.
What does your soul consist of?
It's a gut feeling. The guts. The living guts.
The tendrils of control? Feeling of control and
It's
losing
like a physical thing. I mean, it's organic. It's like
that
when
bond
you-
that has been broken.
Yeah, I know. It's like weird.
I felt that many times with Lisa. Many times. The bond being formed again and broken again over and over and over. Finally, I just said, she's not worth it. She's not worth it. She'll never be capable of intimacy. She's selfish.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah. It's with the phone not ringing here. Okay. What's up? They're still soaking, but I had to redo a lot of them. A lot of these movements. I had to a lot of them failed. A lot of the ones that were being tested. So, a lot of the ones that we set. So I think I'm just shy of 100 now, so I gotta do a few more. Some of them I think went, probably the ones I had. they're basically, I did like probably another 20 today. They're up to 100 now. So, I'll give them a look tomorrow, if I need to grab that tomorrow. Huh? I don't know. Probably no more than 5 or 6. The rest, I guess, just one. Because I was sitting on for a while. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, just come after work. Yeah. Take care of this. Okay. Cassia. Yeah, there's no more birthday 200. I could get this we can get more out of this, There's still, I stack up another 100 affected cases next week. We could do fine, whatever. Okay. Night. Sure. Oh, that's no problem. You give them to me tomorrow, Wednesday, and I'll have them by Thursday. No problem. Alright, goodbye.